Hey YouTube, MaxZ2021 here coming at you with a manga discussion video. Yeah, I'll just go with that. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing the manga A Silent Voice by Yoshitoki Oima. And it is a 7-volume manga. She originally did a 50-ish page one-shot back in 2011, and the manga didn't get serialized until 2013. I think in August. I'm not sure. That's what I remember it saying on my anime list. But yeah, I recently finished reading it after putting it off for 3.5 years, I guess. And I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. Let me show the covers. There's volume 1. And one thing that I noticed after I got the last 4 volumes I needed was that on the front of each cover, it shows, it kind of shows the two main characters' emotional states, I guess, at that point in the story. Here's volume 3. Jeez, I need better lighting over here. Here's volume 4. And then volume 5, and that's when things start reaching the climax. And then volume 6, and if you notice, Shoya is not on the cover because some stuff happens at the end of volume 5 and transitioning into volume 6. And then volume 7, everything's alright. Oh, that might have been a bit spoilerish. Whatever. I'm gonna roll with it. So, pretty much it is a story about bullying and redemption. And I guess you could consider it a coming of age story, but maybe that's just me thinking that. I'm sure someone else probably thinks that way about it too, but if not, then I guess I'm the only one. So, pretty much. Oh, I think I moved the. No, never mind. Pretty much the story is about two kids named Shoya and Shoko. And Shoya is, well, when we're introduced to him, he's pretty much trying to combat everyday boredom, just doing stuff that middle school kids normally do. And then one day, just when he thinks that his boredom is gonna take over and everything's just gonna be ruined or whatever, Shoko shows up and we learn that she's deaf. And Shoya decides to take it upon himself to, I guess, more or less challenge her or see how much he can get away with so as to fend off boredom. And he more or less ends up bullying her. And after a good bit, it ends up getting bad enough to where the other kids in the class end up joining in on the fun, I guess, if I had to word it that way. Fun for them, not for her. And yeah, it just ends up getting too bad to where she has to transfer out of the school. And after that happens, the bullying transfers over to Shoya, and he basically gets to see what it's like, more or less. And then after that, not really going to go into too much details, but skip ahead to when he's in high school. And he wants to basically find Shoko again and make amends for all the dumb stuff that he did when they were younger. And the story really takes off from there. And yeah, that's basically how it starts out, or that's what leads to the main plot. Hence why I said it being a story about bullying and redemption. And yeah, overall, I think it's a fantastic read. The character design is very nice to look at, especially the girl characters. They have that what's the word I'm looking for? I guess you could say the way they're drawn gives them a fluffy, bubbly look or feel. I don't know. Maybe it's just me that thinks that, but yeah, the character design is pretty good. The story is really good. Overall, it's oh, my cat showed up in the shot. Anyways, yeah, overall, it's a pretty good read. Definitely something that most people can get into. Probably relatable to a lot of people since it deals with bullying, and I know not everyone gets bullied in school or when they're young, but it does happen. And I'd say my only problem with it maybe would be the ending. Not so much that I thought it was a bad ending, but more or less it just ending and not really showing anything that happens after it ends. Like, not really an epilogue, or, well, I mean, the last chapter was more or less an epilogue chapter, I guess. But, I mean, there was this one thing that I didn't notice until I went and looked back at the last few pages, where it showed Shoko blushing on like or it showed her on a 2-page spread, and she was blushing, and then on the next page it showed why she was blushing, and then once I saw that, I wasn't as mad about the ending, I suppose. I mean, there were other times where manga ended, just ended, and nothing else happened, and I didn't like when it did that, but I wasn't gonna fault those manga for their ending, particularly. I mean, if anyone was wondering which ones I was talking about, probably not, but the ones I was talking about was 21st Century Boys, and well, I guess 20th Century Boys by extension, and Part 6 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I guess Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Well, there she goes. But, yeah, I'm not gonna. I mean, I never faulted them for their ending, so I'm not gonna fault this one for its ending. And, yeah, I might as well give a brief summary of my history with the series and why I mentioned it took me 3.5-ish years to finish it. So, back in 2013, I was browsing Uboa-chan one day, and I came across a thread where someone made a post about the one-shot, and it piqued my interest because they mentioned it dealt with bullying and something else. So I read it, and I was impressed, to say the least. And then I learned that it was also getting a serialization soon after. And I think I might have started reading it when it first came out, but I definitely remember reading a good chunk of it. Well, not really a good chunk of it, a portion of it in 2014. And I got up to basically, where was it? I got up to like one of the chapters in volume 4, and then a bunch of stuff happened where I didn't really have internet access at the time, so I wasn't able to read more. And then I found out a year later it was getting an English release, and I picked up the first 3 volumes as they came out, and then I just decided to finish reading it when I got all the volumes, since it's only 7 volumes long. And I yeah, I picked up the last 4 volumes in the middle of 2016, and then I didn't really get back into it until December. And I reread through volumes 1 through 3, and then I read volume 4, and then I put it on hold for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then the other day, or 2 days ago, I went and finished the last 3 volumes, and yeah, I just have this habit of putting something on hold and then not getting back to it for a long time. I really need to work on that because there's a lot of manga I need to finish reading. But yeah, I finally finished it, and I like it a lot. I can definitely recommend this to almost anyone, like I said earlier. But yeah, that's my thoughts on A Silent Voice. And yeah, I got nothing else. So I'm just gonna stop recording, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video.